It's time for me to tell you why Nico Hoerner is the best player on this baseball team. Go Cubs.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. Download the FanDuel app today. Cubs won the series over the Rays, taking 2 out of 3 on the weekend. Full breakdown of that. Nico Hoerner having an excellent season. PCA's continued struggles, breaking down the full series, breaking down individual players, including a bunch of injury updates. And then later, Cubs-Pirates preview as the Cubs get back in action right away Monday night. Cubs are now 85-64 on the season, still firmly in the first wild card spot with only 13 games remaining. Wow. 6-4 win Friday, 5-4 loss Saturday, 4-3 win Sunday. It was a close series, and Nico Hoerner is a clutch player. Batting average of .299. Just an absolutely huge 2-out, 2-run double on Sunday to give the Cubs the lead in the 7th. And they won by that same score of 4-3. Sam, I know Hoerner's been the subject of your delights for many years now, and he really is turning in an excellent, excellent year.
You know, this is the guy. This is the guy that I envisioned, because last year he didn't have a good season. And yes, right, he was mentioned in trade talks, and we were going off of what he had been, because that version of him doesn't work. He needs to be right around I've said this hundreds of times, in the 290s, but it's got to be a loud 290s. He's got to get clutch hits. He's got to find a way to make an impact. And you know what? I think he's made the biggest impact out of anybody in the lineup. And maybe it's my bias, because yes, to all the listeners we have, and we have so many of wonderful ones, yes, I do still believe in batting average. Yes, I still think it matters. And to see his batting average at .299, when I look at the rest of these guys that are supposed to be having these great years, 240, 240, 250, 240, it sticks out. And it's no coincidence that he's getting a lot of clutch hits too. And defensively, it goes without saying. I believe at the end of the year, we're going to talk about Pete in a little bit. He might pass Pete in WAR. So even in that stat, for the people that use that, he'll be the best position player. And I'm just going to say one more thing before I toss it to you. It's time for us to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
And I will do a big giveaway. I haven't thought of it yet, but you could promise it'll be a big one if Nico Hoerner's end-of-the-year batting average starts with a 3.
Wow.
If we have a 300 hitter on this team.
Like a Hoerner jersey or something.
I haven't thought about it. It might be something else.
Okay.
But it's going to be a giveaway if his batting average starts with a 3. And I would love a trivia question this week about that, because off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of the last Cub guy, let's say, to play at least 145 games and hit 300 plus. I know Starlin did it in 2011. There's got to be somebody that's done it since.
I think it was Cody Bellinger 2 years ago.
You're right.
So Nico Hoerner, I hope you do the giveaway.
I don't know how many games he played, but you're right. Forgot about that.
Okay. So, well, it's a good question, though. We'll do that next episode.
I'm going to see how many games he played.
Okay. I think he played 130 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not your qualifier then, but I think he was a qualifying player. You have to look at the MLB.
Yeah, well, my qualifier is at least 145.
Okay, so then I'm wrong. So then it might be Ben Zobrist to answer your question.
I don't know if he ever hit 300 in a Cub uniform.
I think Zobrist did. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to look into it for the next show.
Sure.
So, yeah, not only starting with the 3, Sam, for batting average, but he might win the NL batting title.
Yeah, which says a lot about where the league is. But yes, you're right.
Trey Turner's hitting 305. He's missed this past week. He is supposed to return sometime this week, though. But Nico has a real chance at this. And with 13 games left, he's putting together a run offensively, defensively, and special teams. Okay, base running. That would.
Is that a football reference?
The best season on the team. It would. And the FanGraphs number for WAR would help. What is it good for? The eye test would help. Some more gold in his cabinet at home for playing a fantastic second base. And he has a chance at 30 steals.
He's been amazing.
He's at, which is something I've done a lot this past week.
Say that again?
Well, Hoerner has a chance at 30 steals as well.
Yeah, I know, but what did you do a lot the last past week? I missed that. It cut out. Yeah, you're cutting out a bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this has been just a joy to watch. It put an exclamation point on the weekend because they stole that game. That was going to be a loss. They were down to the 7 outs left. He comes up with that huge hit.
Oh.
And, I thought Saturday and Sunday they did squander opportunities, but he didn't. And that's been a theme of his year and a lot of his career.
He is the only guy on the team. And I'll say this. Ballesteros has a little bit of this in him. It's just he's really young. He's the only guy on the team when he comes up with the game on the line, you feel good.
Absolutely.
Am I missing anybody? Maybe Tucker when he's right.
That's really about it.
Let me put it to you like this.
Ian Happ's having a good run right now.
Yeah, but I would want him up in a spot.
Sure.
Let me put it to you like this. If you were to tell me, give or take right now, we're down 1, bottom 9, let's say bases loaded, 1 out, and Nico's at the plate, I'm taking that. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? You the only way you don't score is a double play. But if you were to tell me that some of these other guys are up, if you were to tell me it's Bush than Seiya, I'd rather just let the game play out and hope we win in a different way. I don't trust those guys to do that. But I trust Nico Hoerner. He'd be in my top 10, 15 of guys I'd want up in baseball. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the numbers track with that. The eye test tracks with it. The Cubs actually had a similar situation to your laying out, Sam, Saturday afternoon. Matt Shaw hit a ground ball, first and third, no outs.
Yeah.
And Dansby Swanson broke for home immediately.
Real quick, before we go to break, because you and I think, we're disaligned on that. So I thought he had to go home. If he didn't, it's a double play. What say you?
Well, I just thought he should have
stuttered a little bit.
I thought that he should have been some kind of read and retreat. And I thought Matt Shaw would have beat it out at first.
Okay. That's fair.
And I didn't understand why Colin Ray faced the order a third time on Saturday. Where's Assad? Where's Brown? Where's Savali, who's only pitched twice in 2 weeks?
Yeah, and then Assad came out of the pen for the long
Why
play.
did they push that on Saturday? I was a little bit confused.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, it's not as much of that, but they got to be careful now. They got to be real careful with Thielbar, Keller, Kittredge. They're in a pretty good spot right now. Those guys
don't burn the candle at both ends with them.
I'm going to say this right now. I almost could guarantee you this. The wild card series, there's going to be at least 1, probably 2, that the Cubs are up 1 late, and it's just going to come down to those guys getting the job done. Whether you like it or not, that's what it's going to come down to. And so they got to be at their best going into that. Because
I think entering this week, they're going to start to realize that more. And they're just one of the main goals with this cushion is going to be to get healthy and get rested.
Yeah, I mean, you want them to pitch. You don't want them to get rusty. But you also just got to be careful. I would just say once every couple of days, really. And it would help if the lineup could put up a 12 spot somewhere so they don't have to
Right.
worry about it, because these games they're all 1-2 run games.
Yeah, with 13 games left, I would like to see them subscribe to that. Don't pitch back to back anymore. A couple more notes from the weekend, Sam.
The Rizzo
Cubs are
stuff.
now,
Unbelievable.
I said this already, 85 and 64. Moises Ballesteros, opposite field prowess.
Man,
it's fun to see by him.
He can hit.
Anthony Rizzo almost caught a home run from him on Saturday.
Unbelievable.
That was one of the moments of the year until it wasn't. Rizzo retirement celebration was a blast to see, Sam. What about for you?
Amazing. It was just, I really wish they came back for him, but it was amazing.
Right. And finally, Shota Imanaga, last 4 starts / 24 innings pitched, 12 runs and 7 homers.
Right. And to your point, the Boyd thing now, I'm on your side with the Boyd thing. So
okay.
There's some issues tiring out with those guys here down the stretch. And it does look like Cade is your game 1 starter.
Wow. Cubs are 26 and 25 since July 20th. One of the reasons why they've been up and down like that, haven't been able to sustain a streak or anything, is the offense and the lack of run scoring, despite a really good bullpen, a pretty good rotation. And we're going to outline the struggles of Pete Crow-Armstrong right after this.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Folks, twice last week I told you to take Detroit. Right now, I'm 10-2 as we speak in the NFL season. Now, that probably won't last, but I'm feeling pretty good. And one of the things that makes it easy is just betting against the Chicago Bears, who opened as 4-point dogs when I saw it on Monday morning before their game against Minnesota. After that, it went up to 6.5. Still was a great bet. They gave up 52 points in Detroit. This franchise makes the Cubs look like the 20s, 30s, 40s, New York, 50s too, New York Yankees. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. Place your first $5 bet against the Bears.
This episode is also brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. I've been playing PrizePicks lately. It's such a fun way to stay locked in for the season. Josh Allen is a great player to key in on. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook. I'm just naming Ravens and Bills, but I just really enjoyed their game from last weekend. And you can download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Shout out to the everydayers, and you can become a Locked On Cubs everydayer by joining us for every episode throughout the week. Since August 2nd, Pete Crow-Armstrong is hitting 161 in 37 games. Actually, a little bit lower now if you include Sunday. 20 hits, 5 extra base hits, including a home run. Just 1 home run, I guess you should say. 8 walks to 38 strikeouts. 5 steals. This is particularly frustrating when you hear this. In 90 games in which the Cubs went 54-36 from April 13 to August 1, PCA /287, 318, 616 with 27 homers, 27 steals, 4 triples, and 23 stolen bases. Since then, he's been a non-factor, Sam.
This is a long overdue segment, and the reason why it's overdue is because I thought it was fair that Pete had a bad month of August. I just thought he had been great for a while. He's young. He hit a wall. And then he got those 3 days off, and he came back, and he was hitting a little bit, and I expected him to bounce back in September. And he hasn't bounced back in September. He's coming into today, he's hitting 185 with a 487 OPS. I mean, it's just dreadful, and it got worse today. The quality of bats are a 0. And I'd like to add that he has not played great defense either. He's let some balls drop that he shouldn't have.
It better not happen in the playoffs, man.
And I'm going to say this. You and I have talked a lot off the air, a little bit on the air about why is this team now 21 games over, and it just doesn't feel that exciting. It doesn't, people aren't as excited as you'd think they'd be. And this is the biggest reason why. From mid-April until the end of July, the Cubs had a real superstar, and not only a superstar in terms of production, but a superstar in terms of he was as big of a story as anybody in baseball. I mean, he got interviewed during the All-Star game in center field. He was the talk. I mean, anyone that wasn't, the few radio shows I would do out of state, first question I'd get, PCA, texts from people that don't follow the team, PCA. I mean, he was a magnet. And will be again, by the way. But when this sport, really, you could say this about anything. Everything's always about expectations, right? If you wake up on a Monday morning and you're thinking it's going to be a really bad day, and the day goes okay, you're going to be really happy. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when Pete he raised the expectations of, oh my goodness, we might have like a real superstar here that could captivate the league, and then it goes down like this, it's noticeable and it hurts. I think he's going to be totally fine. I just don't know if that's going to happen this year or if it'll be at the beginning of next year, which may determine how far the Cubs go in the playoffs, because he is their ceiling raiser. When he is performing at an elite level, there's no limit on what this team could do, and I just think that when he's performing like this, they're limited. They're limited.
For the type of run they're going to make in October, I absolutely connect the Cubs' possibilities with Pete Crow-Armstrong.
Yep.
I think Kyle Tucker is part of that convo as well, especially if he's just not even around, then obviously that's going to play a big factor, and we'll update his injury later. But
I mean, that's
if PCA gets back to at least some version of that 90 games, because if he gets back to that version, you're talking about a special October. I don't know how else to put that. Mm-hmm. But if he gets to at least some version of it, then they do some damage in October. And if I had to rank players' correlation to their success starting in a couple of weeks and crossing into October, he would be at the top, and we should do that for an episode,
right? At
some point, it would be PCA, it would be Tucker, it would be Boyd, that type of thing. So yeah, it's actually been troubling to watch it as much as it has lasted, because now we're pushing 40 games, and he's genuinely struggling. He swings and misses a lot. He's back to chasing, especially chasing up in the zone. He loves to swing at velo up.
The biggest difference, just to cut you off real quick,
steal bases anymore, but then again, he's not on base much.
The biggest difference, to me, isn't the chase. It's that the pitches he was crushing, he's just not even close. He was hitting home runs on pitches from Freddie Peralta above the zone. And you're like, whoa, I thought this guy struggled with the high fastball. now it's back to that. He's not. I don't mind the chasing. He's not hitting the mistakes like he was.
Yeah. So what's he doing in zone, which I don't think is
not good. That's the problem.
Good.
Yeah. So it's hard. And I would say I think this is a little unfair, but just the terms of how he's been managed, I just feel like it's obvious he needs a mental break. And I know they gave him a few days. I get it. But, I don't know. I just feel like there's something they could do.
Well, he shouldn't. Well, here's an example. Don't play him Tuesday night against Skeens.
Yeah, something like that. Just something to just make it a little easier on him right now. Yeah. Because, he's your ticket, in my opinion, to a long run in October. Just like when you asked me before the All-Star break, right? You was like, hey, which guy needs to stay the course? I thought it was Pete because that was the scariest one. Like, what do you do if he drops off? He's been so crucial to you. And credit the Cubs and credit Counsell and credit these guys for being able to right the ship basically without Pete producing, without Bush producing, without Seiya producing, and with Tucker being in and out of the lineup. To be 500 during that actually is an impressive feat.
Yeah, that's true. And I wonder where he's going to rank in terms of like jersey sales this year. Because he was atop of the sport at one point.
Yep.
I see his jersey everywhere, including the All-Star version, including the baby blue version. I mean, it's so prominent at this point. Yep. All right, coming up next, a lot of injuries. Seiya didn't play all weekend. Why was that? Kyle Tucker is not going to be activated when he's eligible from the IL. We preview Cubs-Pirates, including just a dandy of a probable pitching matchup on Tuesday. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Nutrafol. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There are so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. Whether you're at work, out with friends, or even just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine, and you can feel good about knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified and backed by peer-reviewed studies. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB.
Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On Cubs. That way you don't miss any of the great Cubs content we've got for you, including the Cubs postcast with Joe George live after the final out of every game. Seiya missed the entire weekend due to illness. He's questionable for the Pirates series. Wow. Last 47 games, slash line of 196, 330, 245 with a home run and 47 strikeouts. Many of us had been wondering if he was going to get a Tucker or Pete-like break. And it turns out he is, but he's ill. And to not play the 3 games in Pittsburgh would mean he misses 6 games. And, that starts to be quite a large absence, Sam. I'm not sure I was asking for that.
Right.
So you hope he gets well soon.
Yeah, I mean, I thought initially that what was happening was exactly what we had been talking about for a while. But yeah, that you don't want, obviously. Hopefully he could just get healthy and use this to just get away. Just get away from the game, focus on your physical health, get better, and take your time. There's no need to rush him back. That's what I would say. I mean, you don't know what he's dealing with physically, just an illness. But hopefully he could get better, and then when he gets better, just sometimes just getting away from the game, you know what I mean, for a while can be of service as long as he's obviously feeling well physically. So we'll see. It's a weird time, Matt. I mean, with Tuck, like you got unknown stuff with Tucker, you got unknown stuff with Seiya, and you got 13 games left, and so it's a weird situation.
Yeah, the calendar's on your side for now, but like a week from today would not be at all.
Right.
Like these guys would, I think, have to play at least 6 games. I would say 7 or 8 to get ramped up for the playoffs. Like, do you have a game number in mind for Tucker and Seiya? Because
I mean, Tucker's going to be DHing if he in the playoffs. I think no matter what, if he could swing and just move a little bit. Okay. But yeah, I would for Seiya, I would say ideally coming back about a week this Friday. Getting some swings and feeling good would be great.
Well, and Tucker, it sounds like, will be Thursday or Friday too.
Yeah,
he's not going to be activated from the IL when eligible Tuesday. So yeah, there's still some cloudiness there.
Very cloudy.
Owen Casey got called up Saturday, and then Pete tripped him as he made a great catch, as Casey did. Casey's head hit the brick wall. Now he's out.
Yep.
With the concussion IL, probably won't see him again. Kelvin Alcantara's back on the roster. I mean, are you worried at all that Tucker is just out for? I mean, he can't come back Tuesday the 30th, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried he's out for the year, but I'm worried this situation does not make a lot of sense. And when it doesn't make sense, that typically brings a lot of worry. I mean, it literally went from day to day to hopefully will be available off the bench Monday against Atlanta to IL to it's not going to be a minimum stay. That's if you're not worried about that, then you're a way better person than I am.
Well, Tuesday will be 2 weeks since he last played.
Yeah. It's and the worst part is he finally got going.
He was excellent before that.
Yeah, he hit his first home run to the opposite field.
Opener in the Angels series to that last game when he was IL'd.
Yeah, so, how long is it going to take? Is that going to be a whole thing? I mean, there's a lot there.
Michael Soroka will be activated this week. He'll pitch out of the bullpen the rest of the way, likely in a 1-2 inning role, something like that. And Miguel Amaya will join AAA Iowa Tuesday. He'll spend the week there. The AAA season ends on Sunday the 21st. Amaya will initially DH and then hopefully catch by the weekend. So that's really nice. He'll get a huge ovation at Wrigley that following week if he comes back.
Amazing.
And Cubs Pirates, 3 games beginning at 5:40 p.m. Central Monday, same time Tuesday, and then 11:35 a.m. Wednesday. That happened in May, I want to say, as well, on a Thursday.
I think they faced Skeens.
Yes, yeah. Tyone Ashcraft, Horton Skeens, Boyd Oviedo. Pirates 2-8 in their last 10. Cubs have been 21 games over a few times this year. They could make it a season high 22 on Monday if they win. Horton Skeens is must-watch TV Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the baseball world
40.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the baseball world their eyes are on that because that's going to be a spectacular matchup. And this week you got 3 with Pittsburgh, you got 4 with Cincy. If you really want to put an exclamation point and make sure that wild card series is at Wrigley, because remember these are divisional games, so that goes towards that tiebreaker. If you have a good week here, like if you go 5-2 this week, it's a wrap, in my opinion. I think
over the Padres.
I think it's a wrap. And 4-3 would be fine. That would just continue to be just doing what they're doing. That's probably what's going to happen. But
they haven't played 7 games in a week. This is probably only the second or third time all year. It just really doesn't happen anymore.
And you're going to see some stuff that you're going to be like, why is Counsell have this guy in here? Like he's going to be real cautious.
I hope so.
How he uses relievers and stuff. So
I thought you made a great point about the Thielbar, Keller, Kittredge trio earlier.
Yeah, those guys shouldn't pitch. They shouldn't pitch tomorrow no matter what.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
This is Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night, every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB channel on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be back after Cubs Pirates on Monday night. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
Go Cubs.